Hello guys, welcome back. Arthas here. I've got a new deck we're gonna test run. Well, it's not truly new. I've had it for a little bit, but I've been kind of tweaking it ever since they released the Sanctums. So we're actually gonna type that in so I can bring them up. Oop, spell it right here. Sanctum. Sanctum of Shattered Heights, since I accidentally took it out. Now, when they released the Sanctums, and that was M21, it was kind of a revamp of a previously released card from the Kamigawa block. So give me just a second. We're going to type in Honden. And there were five Hondens, 5 Sanctums, all for one for each color. And then there is, of course, I believe it's, okay, I don't run that one in this deck, I don't believe. But there is a Sanctum for all, and we'll touch base on that here in just a second. Now, the Hondens on their own can combo pretty quick, pretty fast, and they're a little slow going. As you can see, the cheapest one is the Honden of Infinite Rage, and that takes 3 mana, and that's the lowest cost of them. And then it goes up to the Hondens of Night's Reach and Cleansing Fire, followed by the Honden of Seeing Winds and Life's Web. Now, basically, the Hondens combo off each other. Let's start with the Honden of Infinite Rage. It deals 1 point of damage to any target equal to the number of shrines I control. Doesn't say Honden. So, there's also the Honden of Night's Reach. A target opponent discards a card for each shrine I control. So, if I control one of each, since they're legendary enchantments, I can only control one of each of these uniquely. So, boom, you're taking 5 damage. Boom, you're discarding 5 cards. And then the Honden of Seeing Winds, boom, I draw 5 cards. Cleansing Fire, I gain 2 life for each shrine I control at the start of my turn during my upkeep. So boom, 10 life. The Honden of Life's Web, I get a 1/1 spirit creature token that's colorless for each shrine. So at the start of each of my upkeep, I have a nice little cheap block fest. So keeping that in mind, let's go over to the Sanctums. So, with the Sanctums, again, there's one for each color. Then, there's one for all colors, and that's the Sanctum of All. Now, the most important part about the Sanctum of All is that at the beginning of your upkeep, you may search your library and or graveyard for a shrine card and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle. If an ability of another shrine you control triggers while you control 6 or more shrines, that ability triggers an additional time. So each one can go off twice. So for Cleansing Fire, instead of gaining 10 life, I'd gain 20. Now, with the Sanctum of Shattered Heights, with this, I can discard a land card after I pay 1 colorless mana, or I can discard a shrine card, and it deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker where X is the number of shrines I control. So basically, it's a free burn spell. Then there's the Sanctum of Stonefangs. It's kind of like the Honden of Infinite Rage, but much better. It's more like a vampire. So, at the beginning of my pre-combat main phase, not my upkeep, but my pre-combat, so before I initiate combat, each opponent loses X life, I gain X life. Again, equal to the number of shrines I control. So if that was to kick off once, and I had one of each of the shrines, then my opponent would lose 10 life, and I would gain 10 life. And then if the Sanctum of All is in play, which is also a shrine, you're losing 11 life twice, so you're losing 22 life. Now, for the land base for this deck, I use a mixture of the temples and the shrines. Well, not shrines, but temples and shocklands, I should say. Now, normally I would use regular mana, but based on the way my deck's color and everything splits, I need to have that dual mana just because it's easier to react with. Now, in this deck, I did also include some kill spells. I have the Heartless Act. I have some Planeswalkers that kill. I also have some planeswalkers like Liliana who can create little blockers in case I haven't gotten to my Honden of Life's Web yet. Now, in combo with the Honden of Life's Web, we also have Divine Visitation. When this is in play, if one or more token creatures would be created under your control, that many 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance are created instead. So if this creates 5 at the start of a turn, instead of getting 5/1/1 chump blockers, I get 5 4/4 flying vigilance beefcakes. So I also use Mu Yan Ling, because up until my next turn, this is her +2 ability, target creature gets -2, -0, and loses flying. If I can get her up to... So I pop her up once, or roll her up once. Then I can pop her for her -3, and create a 4/4 blue elemental bird creature token with flying. I use Tibalt, Rakish Instigator, because that stops my opponent from gaining life. That's his only purpose. I also have Kaya, who can take care of chump blockers my opponent might throw out. Plus, I can take care of his graveyard by whittling it away, gaining life. Then there's Chandra Fire Artisan. I also use Nisa, who shakes the world, to make my land, little guys. Then there's Vivian. She creates chump blockers. So it's just kind of... I guess it'd be kind of Super Friends, I guess used to be the operative term for like a 5-color Planeswalker deck. Now, oh yeah, and I also use Basriket. Basriket, -6. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Then put a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control. So if I'm creating 4/4 angels, and I've already got his emblem, then those angels, when they, enter combat, will get a +1/+1 counter. And, the fun just keeps going. Now, the deck is a little shaky. I haven't quite perfected everything. I know I'm still working on the ratio. So, I have posted a preemptive deck list for it to... Give me just a second, guys. I've noticed that's just a tad loud. There we go. Okay. Now, as I was saying, I haven't quite perfected it yet. I'm still kind of working on how everything is supposed to kind of balance together. I'm kind of hoping that as I, tool around with it a little bit, that we'll be able to kind of work out all the kinks. Because I never have much luck with a 5-color deck, just because it's usually some form of clusterfuck happens to me. But we'll kind of see. And now that I know that I'm facing at least a red goblin deck of sorts, that'll help. But unfortunately, I have no black mana. So, what we're going to do to kind of... Oh yeah, it's going to be a goblin deck. Let's see. Alright, we're going to drop this. We are going to pay the 2 life for it. Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. And basically, I should be okay. Because once I get the Sanctum of Stone Fangs out, after I get my 1 mana... Ow. There we go. Alright, we're going to take the black mana. Use that mana to throw Sanctum of Stone Fangs. Now, on my next turn, I'll get 2 mana. And what I'll be doing is dropping Honden of Night's Reach. Okay, he's going to try and take me out quick, fast, in a hurry. 2, 4, 6, 7. Or sack it for mana. That works too. Oh, Battlecry Goblin. Interesting. But as you can see there, using my 2 Sanctums in conjunction, I'm not doing too bad. Now this is going to hurt. Unless he's going to try and pull off another ability here. But... okay. Not sure what he's doing, guys. Oh. Alright, 3, 6... oh! Direct 12, okay. Wow. I'm kind of shocked by that. Oh well. Now, as you can see, the deck is very slow, and I did say that from the start. The deck does take a little bit to get going, but I think in slower matches or more, I want to say more advantageous matches where if my opponent has an equally kind of slow starting deck or has a deck that may start off fast but kind of teeters off, if I had gotten my Honden of Stone Fangs going early, like turn 1, I probably could have offset some damage, dealt him damage, gained life, dealt damage, gained life. I mean, it's all kind of might take a little bit to kind of perfect, but once you do, I think you'll all find that the Hondens and Sanctums combo really great together and can actually kind of probably take down some meta decks if given the right circumstances. Now, with all that being said, if you guys are looking to kind of collect these Hondens, the best way would be wild cards or doing the jump starts, because on occasion you'll get lucky and maybe it'll be some kind of option. I don't know, like, I'm not quite familiar anymore with what all options they give, but maybe a certain deck archetype is heavy on enchantments, so you might find one snuck in somewhere. But really, overall, your best bet would be to... I don't think you can crack packs from that set anymore. Give me just a second. We're going to go to packs. No, you can. It's still, actually, standard. Okay, so the Sanctums are still standard, so you can get them from M21, so let's bring that up. Now, as far as the Hondens, your best bet for those, again, would be to go through wild cards. And for the land base, wild cards, unless you've already got like a pretty good stack of them sitting around, you can do the deck with basic land. I just choose not to. It might actually be easier, so I might actually do a second video showing how the deck runs with basic lands. And we'll kind of see which one functions better. I will admit that having to shock myself in order to use the shock lands right away or having to wait for the temples does kind of slow the deck down. So my next video will actually be of this deck running basic lands. And we'll see how it goes. Maybe it does better, maybe it does worse. We'll see. But as always, guys, I want to thank you guys for dropping in and watching the video. If you guys liked the video, smash the sub button. Hit the like, hit the bell so you get notified when I go live. Also, don't forget to stop by on Aether Hub. There'll be a link in the description below. You can find all of my decks there. And as always, guys, you guys rock. And have a good day now.